Shanti. Congratulations, you're almost there. This is the last picture we are going to cover. Okay, and after that, your real journey begins. Okay, real study begins by studying directly from God. It's a great fortune to have. Don't miss it. Okay. All right. So, what is the purpose of this session here? Okay. So, first of all, okay, scholars, great persons, and philosophers, okay, have made a lot of efforts to know the pre-birth and post-death secrets of the human beings. Okay, since Islam and Christianity do not accept, okay, rebirth of souls, literature of their religious land or religious scriptures do not discuss this subject. Okay, but rebirth has been accepted since many centuries in India. Okay, we also proved, right? Now everybody believes. We're talking about firm Christians, okay, not you who are listening. You are Sanatan Dhanam souls. Okay, remember we are talking about that branch completely bounded in that branch. Okay, so that's why there is no dearth of literature or books related to rebirth. Okay, but because of just a mistake, the Indians have forgotten their golden history and their contribution to the origin and development of the many civilizations and religions of the world. And that mistake is the ignorance due to body consciousness that a soul takes birth in 84 lakh species. Okay, very, very important. Even now, even then, Bharat has today become the land of actions of God Shiv because of accepting the theory of incarnation of God and rebirth of human souls. Okay, so now God comes and narrates, okay, to us souls the story of many births. Okay, since he is beyond the cycle of birth and death, he knows the past, present, and future. Okay, so he only comes and removes all the misconception that a human soul, first of all the misconception, and one of the most important misconception that we have is a human soul takes rebirth in many species. Okay, so this picture clearly will serve as a proof to show that we human soul only can take 84 births maximum. Okay, maximum 84 births. Not everybody can take the 84 births. All right, so this is the story of rise and downfall of India. Okay, as you can see, that this is the story of us souls. Okay, journey of all of us. Okay, who have taken 84 births. Okay, so that's why it has sent all our deity souls. How we downfall, how we went from deities to ordinary human beings. That we get a glance of this. In detail, you will learn from God. Okay. Okay, so Bharat is actually in here. Remember, we said Bharat also Bharat represents not just the place. In here, 84 births of rise and fall of Bharat. It is about a human being, okay, in whom God comes. That he is also known as Bharat. We already covered that, right? He is the one who takes complete 84 births. Through him, the world begins. Through him, the world ends. Okay, so he is the beginner. Okay, so he is the very important soul. So rise and fall. So if we know about him, our story is similar to him as well. Okay, because we followed him. Okay, but in Bharat, they say Bharat Mata Shiv Shakti Avatar, right? Mata is not, there should be father too, right? Mata is not just alone because this is the God established the household part, right? It's a couple form. So that's why it is referring to actually Narayan here. But he keeps female forward. That's why it's called Bharat Mata. But Bharat refers to only the soul, the body God has incarnated. Okay, at this time. All right. So in here, the top portion, this is something that we will not get into. Okay, but only one thing that I would like to tell you. This is called Confluence Age, Golden Age. Okay, Confluence Age to Golden Age, where we experience elevated happiness in connection of God. Okay, and this is called Golden Age heaven. Okay, which means over there we experience the happiness through the surroundings and people, but not from God. Okay, so we experience the reward of our sanskars. In here, we experience the elevated happiness based uh, uh, on the knowledge that God is giving me, and also um, based on his color of his company. Okay, in his presence, we experience happiness. In here, he is not there. So without his presence, we are just experiencing the reward of the knowledge that we have received. Okay, um, that's the bottom line. All right. So, but that you will read in the book, and you will also study from God. What's the difference between confluence age heaven, golden age heaven? That's also in the book. Okay. That I have posted in description box of the previous video. But in here, important point is when new world begins. So this is the only birth we rise. Okay, as you can see, right? This ladder going, this line going up from bottom to top, only birth we rise. Okay, as soon as we come into the ladder, which means the golden age begins, when world transforms. Okay, when the physical changes occur. Okay, from Kali to Satyug. At that time, okay, we start downfalling, because at that time we are not in connection with God. Okay, we are just experiencing the reward, right, of all the knowledge we have taken and the sanskars of soul consciousness that we have created from God. We are just experiencing the reward of it. Okay, so we experience downfall after that. So main point is God only comes once. We only rise at this time. Okay, so it's up to us to make effort or not. And whatever we feel at this time will last for 84 births. So if you fill your battery completely, then of course we will play the best role, right? Having remembrance of God throughout the time. But if we feel less knowledge, okay, our battery will be feel less, and then of course our journey will be rough. Okay, because it will be drained fast. So that's why this is the time where it's in our hand to accumulate as much as knowledge as I can from God, study from God, accumulate the sanskars of soul consciousness, which can last for next until he comes back again, until the next cycle begins. Okay, so that's the one point that we need to know. Another point that you need to know from this picture is you can see, right, how this ladder is, right? You will come to know, like, okay, in the golden age Satyug, which is 1250 years long, okay, there is dynasty. We already talked about it. Okay, it begins from Narayan. Of course, he is the first one. Okay, he takes complete 84 births. We don't take complete in not even in 1 second less. Okay, he is here all the time. That's why Baba says Sada Kayam Kaun hai? Shiv Baba. Okay, so there is the dynasty, right? King Edward I, King Edward II. Similarly, first Lakshmi Narayan, okay, pass on their name to their children. Okay, so it's a dynasty. So there are how many Lakshmi Narayan? Okay, including the first one, right, who becomes Lakshmi Narayan directly with the same body. Including them, there will be 9 Lakshmi Narayan. Okay, after that, there are 8 of them. Okay, they are the highest one. Okay, so that's how there will be like Maharaja, emperor. Okay, 8 emperors, but it's called with the common name only, the kingdom of Lakshmi Narayan, but it's not one pair who rules. Okay, it's dynasty. That's one point you need to remember. Okay, and it's called Sun Dynasty because sun, right? When the body whom God comes. Okay, he is the first child of original son. He is the title holder son, right? He gets a title from God. So based on his name, it's his praise. Okay, the dynasty's name is kept is Sun dynasty. Okay, but the position, okay, which they were sitting, okay, they attained, the position was Lakshmi Narayan. Okay, dynasty was Sun dynasty. Okay, and the title, okay, given, okay, as emperor empresses was Lakshmi Narayan. Okay, and it passed on from one dynasty to another dynasty. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Okay, then we have Moon dynasty. Okay, so in here, it's very beautiful. God says, whatever pair you start with, it stays with you. Okay, for next 2500 years, you both stay with each other. So think about it. Whoever had the sanskars harmonized at this time, okay, the most with each other, they are the one who stay with each other, okay, for next 2500 years. The only thing that will happen is basically Lakshmi Narayans, okay, so in one birth, Narayan is male, so in another birth, Narayan will be female and Lakshmi will be male, okay, so they will be together, okay, it's just gender will change, male from male to female, female to male, okay, but they will be with each other only, okay, that's beautiful, right? So over there, how many births one will take? Okay, 8 births maximum. So the age over there is longer, okay, you live longer over there, okay, because soul is pure, right? Okay, average age is 150 years. Okay, like in scriptures, somewhere it has mentioned like hundreds, thousands of years. There is nothing like that. Maximum, even having pure soul, you can average age is 150. Yeah, some will have a little bit more age, some will have less, but still it won't be too much, right? Because average is 150. So it's very important to understand that. Okay, over there we will have 16 celestial degrees. Okay, then we go to Moon dynasty. Now let's move on to the Silver Age. Okay, in the Silver Age, it is known as Moon dynasty. Okay, because Lakshmi belonged to Moon dynasty, and Lakshmi is the one who becomes Ram. Okay, Moon is Brahma Baba. He stayed in Brahma Kumaris, okay, under the sustenance, okay, of Moon for a long time. So that's why name comes from there. She becomes king, male, okay. But they both actually start. It's just at this time Lakshmi is Ram and Narayan is Sita. Okay. So they are the one who start. Okay. And then again the title just passes on. Okay. To the generation. Same or in the same order it will go. Okay. The way it was done in the Golden Age. Okay. Same souls receive that title. Only difference is in here, there are 3 more seats. Over there, there were 8 emperors. Here, there are kings, 12 kings. Okay, so there are basically, apart from them, 9, there are 3 more seats. Okay. So over there, again, now soul is going through rebirth, right? So the soul is declining. So you will take more births, you will take 12 births. Okay. So average age becomes less, which is around 100 years. Okay. So it shows that how purity in the soul, okay, reduces as you take rebirth. But still it has not declined as much where it enacts through vices. Okay, it enacts through Rajoguna. Okay, so you have Sattva Pradhan, Sattva Samanya. Satyuktata is also called Day of Brahma. Okay, over there it's called heaven because everything is one. Okay, there is oneness. Excellent in religion and actions, prosperous, pure, righteous, worship-worthy Bharat. Okay, when he is pure, everyone else is pure. Okay, so according to, based on his condition, things around it changes. Okay, when Bharat becomes Rajogur, then again there will be changes in the environment. Okay, and we also will have our stage will become the same. Okay, so that's why it has said here the story of 84 birds of rise and fall. Okay, he is leading um, actually the changes around. Okay, so Bharat is the same person, right? The ling here we are talking about. That's why the ling was shown, right? Um, of ling of different metals were worshipped. Ling was shown in different colors, right? And metals as well, right? Like we had, it was worshipped diamond first, but then bhakti started from the copper age only. Okay. Okay, so at the end of the Silver Age, okay, when souls are left with only 50% of soul consciousness, okay, so we went from 60 celestial degrees to 12 celestial degrees, okay, in the Silver Age, and now we have arrived to 8 celestial degrees. Celestial degree is the measurement, okay, of the power and purity in the soul. Okay, so now in the Copper Age, which is also 1250 years, okay, with this, the period of heaven ends and the kingdom of Ravan, hell, copper age begins. Okay. So deities, they became body conscious, they became ordinary human beings. Okay. They became trapped by the five vices. Okay. Sex, lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego. Okay. And they get entangled in sorrow and peacelessness. Okay. And from the copper age onwards, they started performing weak karma. Okay, because we started performing all the actions in body consciousness. So that way we started accumulating karmic accounts. Okay. So then, so that's why due to sinful acts, we human beings, we started seeking for the asylum of God. Okay, for peace and prosperity. So that's why all the souls, okay, who belong to Sanatan Dharam, they started constructing temple, okay, and worshipping only one God in the form of Shivling. Okay. And then the temple was built, you already know, by King Vikramaditya, okay, at Ahmedabad, Gujarat, at the beginning of this age. Okay. So other okay, even actually we know otherwise all the world, right? I'm sorry. Okay. Then after that, the temples of Sri Lakshmi and Narayan, and later the temples of Sri Ram and Sita was built. Okay, as you can see, as is clear from the pictures, those who worship deities, right, in a couple form possess crowns. Okay, and those who worship the single Krishna are devoid of crowns. Okay, this shows the disrespect shown to female deities. Okay, in the form of mother and its result. Okay, so after some time, okay, of the commencement of the Copper Age, okay, what happened? The task of creation of scriptures like Vedas, Upanishad, Ramayana, okay, during this time, and Bhagavad Gita, etc., began, okay, by sages in India. Okay, now remember, we have already spoken about this, okay? All the stories and incidents that take place in the subtle form in the Confluence Age, right? And are written in form of stories, okay, by the sages for the guidance of, for the sake of guidance in the Copper Age. Okay, but we know that they have made mistake in interpreting it, right, or presenting it. That we already have covered it. Okay, so okay, at that time as well, okay, as is intimated, as it is intimated in the picture of poetry, establishment of other religions also began from the Copper Age. Okay, we covered that in our tree picture. Okay, so in this picture, as it says, the picture only shows the 84 births of Bharat, so the origin and development of other religions are not shown here. Okay, so that's why we are referring to the trees picture. Okay, okay, and then okay, so first of all, from the Copper Age, okay, we forgot we are deities. We started calling ourselves Hindu. Okay, and then with the when Iron Age started, so over there, how many birds we took? Okay, we took about in the Copper Age, of course, we started performing big karmas, right? So we took 21 birds, average IU were decreased. This is a sign of we becoming impure, right? and Ravan Rajya began, where we had multiple opinions, right? And we came under the trap of vices, and we started operating from the and tamogunas. Okay, so adulterated bhakti began from the copper age. Okay, before we worshipped one, now we started worshipping thousands and crores of deities. Okay, worship of then in the Iron Age, what happened? Worship of deities in animal form and worship of plants and trees, even in man-made objects, also became popular. Okay, so situation deteriorated to such an extent, okay, that we started worshipping bodily human gurus. Okay, so along with adulterated bhakti, blind faith, and bad principles, okay, as at this time, and meaningless traditions, it spread in Indian society. We started worshipping deities, like grand worship of deities, okay, followed by the immersion in water is an example. Okay, as you can see in the picture, right here in the picture, you can see it, right? So what happened? Okay, so with it's showing something. Okay, it's a meaningless tradition, first of all. Okay, and it's showing the downfall of religion in India, downfall of character of human beings. Okay, reaching to the climax. Okay, most human beings became corrupt. Okay, religious power and political power witnessed downfall. Okay, so in the Iron Age, okay, what happened? Division, right? It's clearly seen. Division began from the Copper Age, and it just became extreme. Okay, how many births we take? We took, as you can see, 42 births. Okay, we started taking 42 births. Okay, and our age decreased, right, drastically. So it shows how much as bhakti started becoming adulterated, we can see like how fast we started being degraded, right? So we can say if we would have done everything right, all the traditions are according to the Srimad of God, then our birth should increase. I mean, sorry, decrease, not increase. Okay, it is telling us our karmic account has not gone down. Okay, so bhakti, Tamsi Bhakti does not give us any fruit. Okay, that's why God says right now we will be able to recognize God because we have done the Satmik Bhakti. So right now we are investing so much time and energy performing all the rituals. We don't even know if it's coming from God. Okay, that's why we are not receiving the fruit. That's the point I wanted to make. Okay, so that's why this is all the again the interpretation in the scriptures occurred. Okay, diseases, sorrow, peacelessness increased. Okay, India, which used to be called golden bird, now it has reached to the stage of seeking financial assistance from other countries and international institutions, right? So we are now at the bottom. Okay, we are there at the bottom. You can see, right? Political party, religious parties, all divided. Okay, Bharat, that through whom the world began. Now look in what condition he is. Right now he's kind of became beggar, right? God says that's why prince to beggar. Now in one birth he becomes again the world emperor. Okay, so God says now everything is divided. Religious authority, political authority, it has to be in one hand. Okay, to have that unity. Okay, so that's why God comes, okay? At that time, God comes actually in India, okay? At the end of the 5,000 years drama, okay? God enters in his body, transform India into heaven, okay? Through the knowledge of Gita and Rajayoga, okay? Where the great souls of the world, okay, who recognize God and become pure, gather. Okay, so this is the period of incarnation of God called Conference Age. This is where we are at the end, okay? And we are the one who go to the new world with this body. Okay, so God says, like after the destruction of all religions except India gets submerged in the ocean for 2,500 years. Okay, after mega destruction, many of the souls return to the soul world along with the supreme soul. Okay, and become pure through, after becoming pure through punishments. See, that's the disadvantage, okay, of not taking the knowledge is we will receive the punishment no matter what if we didn't take the knowledge. Okay, if we are not knowledgeable souls, but some great souls, God says, remain in India, okay, and commence the deity world. Okay, so that these are that 9,16,108 soul, God says, okay, who take complete 84 births. Okay, and later on, souls who descend from the soul world, they take lesser birth. Okay, in a chronological order. So not everybody can take 84 births. If somebody who will come in the copper age, okay, you will get some examples in the tree book, like the picture of the tree, right? In the description box, in where there is the version of God. I'm going to show it to you. See, these are the versions of God. God says 2000 years have passed since Christ's arrival. Now calculate how many births do you have in average? 32 births. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so whoever had come, okay, during the period of Christ, Jesus Christ, after that, they can only maximum take, okay, this many births. Okay, same thing like if we go to the Sikh religion, okay, over there, God has mentioned if you consider 50 years as the average age, okay, they would have 10 to 12 births at 50 years age. And God says now the average age is 30 years. Okay, so you can see that average age also when reduces, number of births increases, but no matter when they come, overall, depending on when they come accordingly, they will have less number of births. And whoever takes less number of births, of course, they will not be as powerful, right? They will experience more sorrow. Okay, so that's why God says, along with the spiritual downfall of India, the downfall of the world also takes place. Okay, but in comparison to India, the foreigners do not become that much sorrowful and sinful. Okay, because their role begins in the world only from the copper age. So the point here is, whoever takes more birth, they will be more sorrowful by the time they come at the end of the ladder, right here. Okay, so we have taken 84 births and we have drained our energy completely. So that's why we can easily able to recognize God. You will be very much attracted to this knowledge. Actually, it doesn't matter if you're from Christian background, Muslim background, any background. Okay, God said this. This is the key here. Okay, of recognizing the truth. Okay, so greater and more pure Indians become in the golden age, more corrupt and sinful they become at the end of the iron age. Okay, so that's why at the end of the iron age, when mega destruction begins, foreigners will leave their bodies in a few seconds without experiencing pain due to destructive power of atomic bombs. Okay, God says, but the Indians who have committed more sins, okay, return to the soul world after experiencing more pains and repentance for a long time, after burning their sins through the natural calamities and civil wars, but not those who have taken the knowledge, okay? Whoever has the knowledge of God, the most, even in Muslim they say, right, they will be protected. So those who have not taken the knowledge, even then, amongst them also, some will experience more punishment. Okay, but in middle of this ferocious destruction, the unique family, okay, of Supreme Soul would experience supersensuous peace and prosperity. That's about us. Okay, in the same way as it is famous in the story of the devotee Prahalad. Okay, so that's why the souls who recognize and realize the versions of Trimurti Shiv and become pure will get transformed from human beings to deities and commence heaven in India. Okay, but those who neglect the knowledge even after coming to know about it, okay, and do not care to remove the burden of sins, will burn their sins through atomic war, conventional war, world war, natural calamities, and religious war, and return to the soul world with the supreme soul, and then return to this world as per the time to play their roles. Right, so that tells us that we should not stop here. Okay, we should move on. Right, so in this manner, the story of 84 births of Bharat is repeated every 5,000 years. Okay, so God says, okay, when he degrades, God comes and through him we all are afflicted. All right, I hope things are clear. Okay, and now the next step is Murli clarifications. Okay, listening directly from God.